guys? Jim here again to bring you guys another 85 prediction video. This time I'm covering the UFC 171's new main event that features the vacant UFC Welterweight Championship on the line when the last man to challenge George St-Pierre for the Welterweight Championship of the world, Johnny Hendricks, Big Rig, battles the ruthless Robbie Lawler, the former Elite XC Middleweight champion, in a battle of the hardest hitters at 170 pounds. It should be one hell of a battle between two of the most devastating strikers in the division. I will give you guys a backstory to this fight, which will recap Johnny and George's battle at UFC 167 and the aftermath which led up to this fight proceeding now, as well as Robbie Lawler's resurgence. Full fight breakdown of the two fighters and who I have ultimately winning and being crowned the new UFC Welterweight Champion of the world when it's all said and done in this shootout between two bona fide killers. Now, without further ado, let's get this thing started right about now. Johnny Hendricks, Robbie Lawler. Now, in 2013, Johnny Hendricks, after defeating Carlos Condit at UFC 158, in a bout where he had to use his wrestling heavily to win the bout because Carlos was kicking his ass on the feet. There ain't no doubt about that. He was able to close the distance, get his own strikes in, take him down, get some ground and pound in, but he wasn't able to maintain position. But that overwhelming wrestling is what won him that bout and which ultimately earned him his shot at George St-Pierre last month at UFC 167 for the Welterweight Championship, in which he actually did a lot better than I thought he was going to do. Because everybody was saying that, Johnny had to use his number and that he could, dethrone the champ, this, that, and the other thing. I like a lot of people was like, are you crazy? The guy's stand-up compared to George St-Pierre sucks. His wrestling is good, but not that good. And, I mean, I thought he'd crumble in the championship rounds, but ultimately he didn't. Because he kicked George's ass in the second and in the fourth. I mean, he was pounding him. He took him down several times and shit. And I mean, I believe that George definitely took the third and the fifth. Third, he had better striking. The fifth, George won that by, takedowns and that submission attempt. Because, I mean, in the third and fifth, I think Johnny took a break, and he didn't really push on George St-Pierre like he was doing in the other rounds, like really coming on him heavy and stuff. And he was landing big shots on GSP. I mean, he hurt the champ. The champ's face was bloody, and he got hit more times than he's ever been hit. Now, depending on how you scored the first round, that's what ultimately decided the fight. Because George basically took him down and, controlled him a little bit. But when he tried to go for a second takedown, that didn't happen. Once Johnny hit him, he let go. Johnny took him down, and George got back up, and he basically was controlling the rest of the round after that on the feet. But ultimately, Johnny Hendricks would lose the bout by split decision. And it got panned by a lot of people because they felt that Johnny did enough work to be the new UFC Welterweight Champion. But the problem is, to be the champ, if Chris Weidman and Anthony Pettis this year have shown us anything, you got to finish the champ. That's how you do it. or you win every single round convincingly. If you got him hurt, you got to take him out. Because if you don't know what the hell those judges are looking at. And a lot of times they score for the champ and not the challenger. It is what it is. I mean, and George St-Pierre, like, was somewhat announcing his retirement after the fight. Because he was talking about how he needs to take a break. He just announced his retirement all the way around. And now the belt is vacant. And Johnny's going to battle the resurgent Robbie Lawler at UFC 171. And Robbie has looked great since dropping back down to 170. He knocked out Koscheck at UFC 157. I mean, he was getting taken down by Koscheck. And once he basically started to like sprawl and stop Josh's takedowns, transition, got the ground and pound, he knocked him out. And then he knocked out Bobby Volker at, was it UFC Fox 8? Yeah, I think that's what it was. In the second round by a head kick. Follow up with ground and pound. He looked really good. And then, most recently, last month, he fought a very highly competitive matchup against what was supposedly supposed to be the next George St-Pierre and George St-Pierre's teammate, Rory Macdonald. I mean, that was wild, man. I'm not going to lie. It's quite frankly, the first round, man, it was a little iffy. It's really hard to say who won that one. I give it to Robbie for more action and the kicks. And then Rory started really turning on the second with the takedowns and the ground and pound. I mean, and Robbie was able to stop a lot of Rory's takedowns, mind you. Not all of them, but he stopped some, a lot of them, But the third round is when it really got crazy. He brought the fight to Rory. I mean, Rory couldn't take him down as much in that round. I mean, he was lighting his ass up. I mean, he knocked him on his ass. He got the top control, hammering down with heavy shots and shit. And then, of course, Macdonald finished the fight by taking him down and laying the ground and pound to finish it out. But Robbie was in the fight by split decision, and he won the fight. And now he's going to face Johnny at UFC 171. The question is, what's ultimately going to transpire? Are we going to see Johnny's big left hand flatten him in one round? Or is Robbie going to basically knock him out with a variety of strikes and accumulation of combinations from punches and kicks and knees and head kicks? Or are we just going to see one wild 5-round fight between two guys that go out there and lay the leather on, baby? And I mean heavy, too. The answer to that question will be answered next. Now, breaking down these two fighters on a little tail of the tape. Obviously, Robbie Lawler is the taller of the two because he's 5'11". Johnny's 5'9". And he takes the reach over Johnny by 3 inches because Robbie Lawler has a 74-inch reach. Johnny has a 71-inch reach. So there's about at least 3 inches of difference there. Cardio-wise, I think Robbie has got pretty good cardio. He's trained for 5-round fights when he was the champion in the Elite XC. And he's definitely gone to this in 3-round fights. But he's never really gone 5 rounds in a 5-round championship match at all. But I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for him. I mean, he trains pretty hard. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a good conditioning program heading into this. And Johnny, he did pretty good in the 5-round fight he had with GSP because he went the distance with him. He paced himself the right way. So I don't think cardio is going to be an issue for either one of these guys that much. But then again, I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens. But when it comes to striking, both these guys are southpaws. and they favor their left hand. But I give the edge to Robbie Lawler because Robbie is a more complete striker. He mixes it up all well. He's great boxing-wise with his overhands and his uppercuts. And he's got great kicks, great knees. He's got like a flying knee knockout, a head kick knockout. And I mean, he's very good with his hands. Johnny, the big thing about his striking, I'll be perfectly honest with you, is the fact that that one punch can knock you out. I mean, he does got some good boxing. Yeah, he throws a pretty good knee too, but his kicking sucks. And that's just on the real. You know, if it was a kickboxing match, his ass would definitely lose. There's just no doubt about that. Because his kicking sucks, man. I'm dead serious. He doesn't really throw kicks the way Robbie does or Carlos does or any of those other guys throw. I mean, he's still developing. But I mean, he's got pretty good hands. He's got a good left, a good uppercut. Especially when he's trying to fake a takedown. He hits you with an uppercut. It'll get you good, man. And that left hand has sent a lot of people down to the canvas. But when it comes down to the wrestling aspect of this fight, that's Johnny all the way around. NCAA Division I wrestler. He takes almost everybody he fights down that he doesn't, you know, completely knock out in the blink of an eye. And, hell, he surprised me, you know, with how strong he was. I mean, he was able to out-muscle GSP, for goodness sake. And he's got pretty good top control as well. And he had some good ground and pound. But Robbie, his takedown defense is come up a little bit. I mean, it's better now that it's 170 pounds and he doesn't have to deal with those big beasts at 185 taking him down and stuff like that. But he's still lacking in the wrestling department. But he's got pretty good sweeps and everything like that. So, I mean, and he's got nasty ground and pound. Just ask Rory Macdonald how hard that guy hits. Holy shit, man. Or Josh Koscheck, for that matter. But when it comes to submissions and jiu-jitsu all around, neither one of them or a BJJ black belt or even ranked as far as I know. I mean, they probably train the shit, but neither one of them use it. And I don't think it's going to be a factor in this fight unless Johnny uses it, my guess. I mean, they both got, don't get me wrong, they both got submission victories to their credit, like one. And that's it. And that was pretty much like against like nobodies, and we'll leave that alone, put it that way. Now, as far as their game plans are concerned in this bout, Johnny's going to look to close the distance, find Robbie's chin and knock him out in the blink of an eye. Or if he can't do that, he's going to basically try to take him down and pound his face in. Check the leg kicks. Come forward and basically just, you know, hit him with heavy shots. Leg kicks. And turn those into takedowns. And when he's going for a flying knee, prepare himself for that. Duck under. Take him down like he did in the Carlos fight. And just, you know, takedowns, ground and pound. And if Robbie gets back up, it's going to be the same thing. He's going to try to land the leather on him, take him down. Because I think Robbie has a really good chin. So I don't think he's going to be able to knock him out in the blink of an eye. And he's also going to look to throw some feints in there and fake takedowns and throw an uppercut. Throw in some knees in there as well. And heavy on the wrestling, very heavy. And maybe he knocks him out, or he wins this fight by decision with the wrestling and the top control of the ground and pound. Now, here's what Robbie's going to try to do. Robbie wants to stand and beg, so he's got to sprawl and brawl. He's got to stop the takedowns. He's got to mix it up with his striking, and he's got to strike first. He's got to evade Johnny's left hand. He's got to throw his own left, fire back at him with hooks, uppercuts, knees, and punches. And should he find himself on the ground with Johnny, he's got to sweep and lay his own ground and pound in. And just, like I said, mix it up. He's got to throw the kicks in there. Shock up Johnny's legs. Kicks to the body. Get his timing right.
Take him out with a variety of strikes and accumulation of combinations from punches and kicks and knees and head kicks and various other combos.
The fight is basically, it's a real pick'em. For the fact of the matter, either one of these guys can knock each other out. But I gotta go with Johnny. 60-40. Just because I think that he's got the superior wrestling advantage, and I think that's going to be pretty significant in this fight if it goes past the first. Because I think he's going to eventually take Robbie down and repeatedly do that every single round to win the fight. Because when Johnny's like seriously threatened with somebody's stand-up, like we saw in the Carlos fight, Robbie goes for the takedowns. And he's going to get it, and he's going to take Robbie down. Either Johnny's going to win this fight rather by knockout or by a very exciting unanimous decision. And he will be the new UFC Welterweight Champion of the world. And Robbie will be climbing back up the mountain, fighting another contender, maybe the loser of Condon and Woodley, I'm guessing. Maybe Campman. That'd be fun, but regardless, this ends today's fight prediction. I'll see you guys for the next one.